And welcome back to the adventure of a lifetime. Maybe, eventually. Now this is Sword Coast Legends. It's a game I was really hyped for because it's all about putting that whole pen and paper vibe into a form that's easy to use in a digital space. You know, creating campaigns, playing with other people, being a dungeon master and controlling an experience, all those elements, just putting them into practice in a game form. That's great. This is what, you know, Neverwinter Nights and other games have been trying to do for a long time. Neverwinter Nights probably perfected it, but we need a modern retelling. We need all these new technological advancements and, you know, just something that's prettier. This is the campaign I've been creating lately. Something about blah blah blah, town of Farrowfort, blah blah blah, darkness, blah blah blah. Something like that. And it gives you an array of tools to go about making this. First is setting your locations. Those are the locations I've made so far. Make a new dungeon, which is a sprawling area for your companions to go through and kill monsters, grab loot, all that kind of stuff. And areas, which will be more your NPC places, or you can just use these for specific campaign combat areas as well. It's up to you. Let's see. You can change the lighting how you want, change the difficulties, put in the different types of creatures you want, and lots of types of areas there. I think it's a fairly good quantity. Of course, as a dungeon master, you probably want more. You probably want more just options there in how you create your campaign, but I think what is there right now is enough for the time being. It's adequate. Let's go back to Farrowfort. And yes, I chose the city area to start my campaign. This will be where the adventurers come in and meet the NPCs, go about their questing, and learn more about Farrowfort. I don't know why I said Farrowfort, but it's Farrowfort. Luckily, I've already made some neat little NPCs to guide them about their way. Frogwort, an ugly little, I was going to say hobbit, but they're not hobbits, they're halflings. Different franchise. And these are the way you kind of deliver quests, although you can deliver them other ways as well. Show you the character creation. Come on, come on. There you go. Oh, a dwarf. Why not? Male, female, because that's what you can do. Different types of dwarfs, although I don't think it has much of a difference except writing the bio. Change the race, change the class. And yeah, you can set your created characters to be different classes, to level up like them, to have the same skills as them, all that kind of stuff, which is really interesting. And NPC classes. Let's go Ranger. And the background, more just a, you know, a neat little factor that has no sway in the rest, I don't think. So, next. Appearance, pretty good options, except for body type, because that's just it. You get to change. Let's go to nose. Why not? So you can see his nose gets bigger and bigger. Big bulbous fat nose. Yeah. Nose width. So yeah, you've got a decent amount of options there to really customize how your person is going to look. I'd want more. I hope there's going to be more. But right now, it is adequate. And that is a word I'll be saying a lot. Let's give them different types of equipment with its own stats and abilities and all that kind of stuff. Let's give you a short bow. There we go. Armor types. There you go. And there is just nowhere near enough. It looks okay, but this is like all boots and gloves and capes and everything in this, and it's just not enough to really customize the characters the way you want to customize them. And some of the things are just plain fugly. Like, I don't know. Where's the cloth stuff? There we go. Cloth stuff is always fugly. I don't know why. It looks like he belongs in WoW. Anyway. Change the colours. Put in stat points. add abilities, which is pretty cool. I like that. And you can even add a lot of these to monsters as well when you're creating different monster types, which and it's a good way to customize the encounters that they have and keep people on their toes. And of course a summary, which we haven't written. Sure, yes. And let's go into good old Frogwort that I've already made. Hello, my ugly friend. Yep, so ugly. So yeah, I created him an NPC, but he's kind of a rogue thief type. I don't know why, but I've had a lot of fun trying to write these bios. You really think about the characters and who they represent, and it just helps you develop that campaign to be consistent and interesting. And I don't know whether people can see this, but it's there for you. Inspired by his uncle's stories of a wonderful world full of adventure to discover, Frogwort left home at an early age to discover his own. Fortune and fame was not with him, though, nor were the gods' concerns, and he quickly fell foul of the world's many troubles. Chased by ghouls, haunted by visions, harassed by a rather bulbous circus denizen for his toenails, which he thought were lucky. That's the kind of stuff I do. Let's get out of Frogwort. Yeah, we didn't change anything. Let's go back. And this is the world you create. A lot of these are really nicely detailed to start off with. I have to give them that. Most of the stuff I haven't put down how it is. It's just, that's the terrain you've been given. And I like them. I think it's a nice touch. I really do. The items, you can kind of move around, place where you want. Let's check a bench out here. There we go. And that just helps you more personalize the environment. I really wish there were a lot more items here. Looks like a lot of categories there, but there's so many items that are repeated in the categories, which is, it helps getting them, but it makes it look like there's a lot more there than there really is. And I don't know, I just want more. I want so much more there to fully create the campaign, fully create the story, really personalize these environments and keep that whole story element consistent. It's enough. It's adequate for now, but I really hope they develop this further. I would totally buy DLC packs as well. Like, I'm not paying much for the base game at the moment, and if there is a huge item pack coming, I am down in a second for that shit. This big glowing dice kind of sets the encounter. You have, a combat encounter. Nothing there if you want to. And just easy hard. Right now, I just got a passive sort of drunken revelers to kind of play with the theme of this, darkness infecting a town. Not many people are going around, there's just more vacant, more, people stumbling around, cursed and unaware. And yeah, I've added quite a few items around just to, make this my area. Vendor stalls that are vacant, horsies in the stall, few street signs, and more importantly, well, let's go that way. Making my pub, the Goose and Gander, the main focus of the story. I've got the job board, I've got a few other things that just indicate to the player where they might have to go. And that's kind of up to the DM, I think. The whole quest process doesn't give you too much guidance during it. You might have a few written bits, but you really got to set it out so the player knows what they're doing and where they're going. So that's your job, as putting objects in the cubes. Right now I've got good old Frogwort set to give the first quest. There it is. So you get a few options here. You can have it on speak, on kill, just an action click kind of thing, which you can even add to random objects. If I wanted to, you click on a rock pile, you might find something in there, that kind of stuff. So right now it's on speak, just to tell you about the first start of the story. New mark in town, eh? It looks like you can handle yourself too right. Listen, I ain't one to worry much about the plight of the people, you hear me? But there be something amiss. Check in with Travern. I keep mucking up my spellings. At the pub across the street there. He knows more. Done. That kind of tells you where to go. Let me go into good old Goose and Gander. We have some more quest givers. And a lot of these spaces you'll see are completely empty when you get in there. Maybe some shelves. But all this is up to you to decide. And once again, this is where the whole system of such a limited set of objects fails you. You want to do more with these spaces. But what you're given and what you're allowed just isn't enough. Like, I'd want a nice little counter there. You know, it's a pub. I want better food options. I want just more there to create the space and the story I want, but you just gotta make do. Hello, Trevone. Oh, yeah. And that takes you here. At the moment inactive because I haven't clicked on the original quest. And when you do, it'll become active and you can click on him to get more. And I've got this to update the quest a bit more, and then you'll speak to him again. Gives you a bit more of the story and leads you on to the next part. This is kind of what you have to do to add more story, because right now this is pretty much stretching it for the limits of the text you're allowed to write. It's like Twitter levels of constricted amounts. You really got to think about exactly what you want to say, how you want to say it, and just give enough direction in that speech. And it's so limiting. I hate it so much. I want to, you know, sometimes yes, you can just write a quick go here, I want this done. But other times, you just want to write a more developed story there for the players to really, you know, learn about the campaign, learn about the characters, enrich their experience. And you can't really do that as well as you'd want to. I'd even want, you know, dialogue options sometimes. That would be great, you know, say certain things, to do certain things with an NPC. He might attack you if you say the wrong thing. I would love so many more of those. Just systems there to use and abuse how I want to. But yeah, adequate, once again. It sets you, it gives you the quest markers, it tells you what you're doing, it provides the basis for the experience, a foundation. And he'll send you there, and then she tells you more, and she sends you to the next location. So this is one of the dungeon spaces, the dungeon areas you can create. And what it is kind of a dabbler, you know, putting stuff together in a random fashion and making the dungeon for you. You get a few options there, you know, how big you want it, how complex you want it put together, how hard, but you can, you know, edit that as you go. And then it sets you in. Once again, I think the areas are well detailed. But I feel like you want more customization there. You want to put the rooms together yourself sometimes. You want to create the path and the pattern that you have in your head, you know? Like, when I first made the Sludgeworks, the Fairyfoot Sludgeworks, I had a specific kind of pathing that I'd want them to do to get to where they're going to, where the extra stuff might be, to where the quest area would be. This is where they start out, and that is apparently the exit right there. And that's silly, you know, like I had to kind of lock up doors with objects and make them impossible to see and open, and just to kind of funnel them more through a dungeon experience like I wanted. I even thought it was too long and kind of too silly to have two separate branching pathways for this one, or two completely long separate pathways, so I just completely shut off these areas. I don't want them going there. It's pointless. I don't want to, you know, create a dungeon romp that's annoying at times. And yeah, a lot of these environments, pre-rendered, pre-built, and they're pretty much the same, I think. They've got a selection of, you know, room types they choose from, and then just put them down, and you will see, I think some of them are repeated over time if you use a certain tile set enough. But I think there's a pretty good amount of diversity in them. They're interesting. They got nice detail, different sorts of pathing, different areas. This is just here to make it easier for you. You can just chuck in people if you want to. Normal. Hard. Because they can't go in there, I'll leave it hard. Why not? But of course you can leave it empty as well and chuck in as many people as you want. This one right here, empty. So I wanted some puddings. Because every sewer has to have a few puddings. And every sewer has to have lots of rats. And yeah, once again, not enough objects to really customize these areas like you want to. I just want so much more there. Like, put some rat downs and just to make it a little extra, add bodies and blood and bones and all that kind of stuff. That's their area. To direct the players, a few bandit totems, just so they think maybe the bandits are going, you know, that way. You know, that they're marking their space. The exit's got, you know, all their goods nearby. Just a few guys protecting it. That's where they go in and out, you know? No. Didn't want anyone here. What are you doing? So that's the exit. They can get out alive. No! There we go. And this takes you along. I've added a few more little items all along the way, different lighting areas to the dungeon. And this was my quest marker, kill 5 bandits. And that gets you, well, killing him updates the quest for you. But that's the experience I made, and you try and do the best you can with the objects. I've got a story about, you know, he's using blood and magic combined to create a new evil kind of thing, so lots of blood, lots of torture stuff. Bandits up here, and once you kill him, you might find the research table and click on it and get the next quest. Hopefully that's how it works. I haven't really played through a campaign yet. I've done a little bit of the normal campaign, but not a player created one, so it's a bit funny. And once you're in these and actually playing them, you can kind of add monsters how you want, add new objects, all that kind of stuff. Play around with the player's experience to just help them along, challenge them, give them a fun event. Hopefully, I'd probably be terrible at that, I guess, because I'll just add too many monsters and swamp them with rats. Fly, my pretties. And yeah, I even made a separate little few monsters for this experience. Shadow rats. Dun dun dun. And gave them a few different abilities. Makes sense, they can hide and pounce on you unawares. And during the actual DM match, you just pop them down where you want to. And that's the dungeon crafting. Pretty basic, but I think it's adequate. Adequate enough, I guess. It's funny, a lot of these systems, I really want more there. I just want to create more. I want to develop deeper, more enriched stories. I want to have more an impact on it, have more customization, all those kind of things. No, we'll go back to Farrafoot. Like, that's what I want, that's what I need, and it's not there right now. I've heard talk in one of their live streams that they were thinking about DLC, maybe, possibly, up in the air. They didn't actually say it, but anyway. Hopefully they will. Like, I'm okay with that. You know, they've provided the foundation of the experience here. They've got people in. If they want to sell DLC after, you know, not that expensive pack, go for it. I'm all in for that. All in. And yeah, it's a good tool set as it is right now. It's a decent tool set. It's got some nice environments. It's got some nice abilities there. Nice customization, basics. And it just... crafting your own stories, your own spaces, just feels so rewarding. I don't know why. It's just kind of nice populating a world. Where's the other house? Over here. This will be my, there we go. And, yep. And he's going to be a quest marker too. So yeah, this entire, like, this little city area had a few open doors, and I tried to, you know, play around with them, build in them, and those will eventually be their own individual stories. So this is kind of like my quest hub, but not in a traditional sense. You've got your main story obviously here, and if you actually go and discover and, you know, walk around the city, explore, then you'll find extra quests that you can take. Maybe. I haven't finished it yet, so I haven't let anyone in to actually play it, and I might just playtest a little bit soon. But yeah, I'm generally enjoying what they have put on the offer. I wouldn't, like I said, it's adequate. I want so much more there, but it's still been sucking in dozens of hours just in this week alone. So I would maybe be a bit cautious if you're looking at it right now, but definitely keep an eye on future developments. Hey, thanks everybody.